In today's video, we're going to be putting together a prepper's go bag with military surplus. Stick around. So we're doing something a little different today. We're going to be shooting this video in the man cave, and the reason we're doing that is because the weather has been so crazy, and of course we have all this air pollution coming down from Canada with these wildfires. Just the air quality is really horrible. So I thought what I would do is I want to show a go bag start to finish and what I'm going to be putting in it. Now, when you think about go bags, you're probably wondering what exactly that is if you're not familiar with that terminology. And I'm kind of replacing the whole idea of a bug out bag or a get home bag, because I think with my evolution of gear and trying new things, the idea really is just to have some kind of pack that has all the necessities that if I have to grab it and go, leave my house, leave my vehicle, wherever, it's easily accessible, but it has all the items that are needed for a survival situation where I'm away from my home. So here are all the items that I've assembled for this bag, and the pack we're going to be looking at today is the Molle 2 assault pack. This is the current issue military or U.S. Army backpack. The Molle 2 assault pack has actually been around for quite a while. It's been made in woodland camo, and then the horrid ACU camo, that digital gray stuff. And those can be found, of course, the digital is very, very cheap, and then the woodland is very, very expensive. But the sweet spot is these multicam packs, because they are available. I found this one on eBay for like $45 shipped, and it's complete, and it's in excellent condition. You just need to do your research, because a lot of these will come really messed up with holes, tears, sand in them, all kinds of stuff. So you really need to pay attention to the listings. You need to do some reading and research and make sure you're getting what you want, because you obviously want something that is in good shape. So this pack here has some key features. It has a very generous front pocket that has a pocket on top of that, which is accessed by Velcro. On the inside, you open it up, it has another Velcro pocket in the back. It also has some snaps. See those? There's one there, and there's one there on this corner. That is for the 3-mag bandolier that snaps into it, so you can, or the 6-mag bandolier. So the Army bandolier snaps into that, so you can grab rifle mags if you need to, if that's something you're concerned about, you're carrying a weapon. It's a great way of storing rifle mags. I'm not going to do that for this particular bag, just because I have other setups that we'll be going into in the future on other videos. But for this one, this is going to be sustainment. This is for a 24 to 72 hour event. So I need basics that are going to basically keep me alive, keep me healthy, keep me warm, dry, things like that. So, big front pocket, and then of course a very generous inside pocket. Now a lot of these will come with a frame sheet, and then these straps are actually for airborne operations, so you can actually rig this for airborne operations, but there will be a foam insert, and we're going to take this one out because it's kind of useless. It's pretty floppy. It doesn't serve a lot of purpose for me. Now there's also another strap in here, and I think eventually what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out, because I don't need them, but they are in the pack in case you want to keep that webbing for other projects. I prefer a foam pad cut from the Army sleeping pad, the green ones. It's a little bit thicker, it's more stiff, and if you cut it the right size, it'll fit right down in that pocket. And that's going to give me some padding for my back. And then for a frame sheet, I found this from 511. I think this is some type of panel that you can hang from the back seat of your car and then put, you know, pouches on it. But it's got a pretty decent stiffness to it. It's a lot stiffer than, you know, this flimsy thing. And I like the size of it. It's narrow. But if I want to use this for adding pouches to it, I can do that. I can strap stuff to it. That way, if I want to pull this out, I can. So that's going to go in there. So now we're going to go through categories of items. Categories are real important. You want to think about the different types of things and kind of lump those into categories and how they're going to work for you. So the first thing is some type of shelter. We want something under us, we want something over us, and hopefully something around us. So it's going to keep us dry, warm, and then also it's going to prevent moisture and cold coming up through the ground. So I think one of the tried and true items that I've had in a lot of my kits for years and years are these old military surplus casualty blankets. It's basically just the grabber blanket that I think a lot of you are probably familiar with, but it's the reflective material on one side, OD green on the other. But these make fantastic ground cloths. They keep the moisture off of you, and they're big enough that you can sleep on top of one and move around and not be rolling in the dirt. So that'll go in here. Then for the item that is going to go around us, help keep us warm. Now, of course, we're thinking we're going to be dressed appropriately for the environment, but I'm going to be going with the good old military Whoopee. It's a fantastic blanket, rated to around 50 degrees, so it's not super warm. But if I have a jacket, pants, decent shirt for the weather, I should be all right with this if I wrap myself in it, and I wrap myself in the casualty blanket as kind of a makeshift sleeping bag. So that's going to go in here. Then we need something over us. So I've done a video on this. This is actually an aftermarket military poncho, military style poncho. Very easy to set up. It does not take much. The bungee cords are actually used to tie out on the corners, and then I just run a ridge line underneath it, and that makes a nice little A-frame. Just some cheap Walmart stakes with gutted 550 cord for pulls on the end of them. Keep those all together. And then I put this all in this old stuff sack, but I also have, where did it go? 550 cord, 100 feet. So we got our stakes, we got our 550 cord, and then a couple of these just as extras. These are little carabiners that from Night Eyes. They're like a figure 8, so if I need these to set up with for putting together my ridgeline, I can. Don't necessarily need them, but they're nice to have. Make things a little bit easier, especially if you're tired. So there is our shelter system. Easily fits inside the bag so far. Okay, next thing we want to talk about is food, sustainment, and nourishment. Calories are important, especially in an emergency situation where you don't know what you're going to be doing. You want to have food. So one thing I did a couple videos ago was making my own MRE packs with these food bags. This one is filled with some meals from Nutrient Survival. There'll be a link down below with a discount code, so check that out if you're interested in checking these guys out. They make fantastic little meals. But then I added some other stuff, some liquid IV, there's some trail mix, hot sauces, different things like that. There's some Spam, some coffee. So this is one whole day's food in this bag. So go back, check that video out. That'll give you some ideas. And then, of course, there's nothing wrong with having a couple of these pre-made dehydrated meals that you just add hot water to. They're quick, they're easy, readily available, and a lot lighter than a whole MRE bag. I just don't really care for MREs that much. They're expensive, don't taste that good. And then to supplement that, of course, coffee packs, and then more liquid IVs, because dehydration is not fun, and you're probably going to be drinking from questionable water sources, possibly if you're outside in the woods. And I'm going to throw in titanium spork. So boiling water and cooking with water is super important. So I don't think you can go wrong with a military style stainless steel canteen with a lid. They are fantastic. And then also a stove stand. The stove stands, if you have never used these, try them out because they actually work pretty well. By doing that, putting the cup into the stand, now you have a space underneath here, and then if you put some fuel tabs, esprit tabs, sticks, debris, you can get a little fire going under here, and that'll heat your water. And then just an aftermarket lid. I think this is Rothko, fits perfectly. But these old military canteen cups, super cheap, easy to find, and they work. And the great thing about them is if you get the Molle 2 canteen pouch, this will fit right in there along with the lid. You can take the strap off, run the lid behind the cup, and then that will fit just like that. And what's great about this is this will strap using this PALS webbing system right to the side of this Molle pack. So undo the side compression straps, give you some room, and then you're going to thread this through. And back up to the top one on the pouch. Back through that one. Keep weaving it. Pull that through, snap it. Get this one, weave that through, snap it. There, now you have a canteen on the side of your pack, easily accessible, and these pouches are really nice because they have these big pockets on the side, which are great for water purification tablets. And you, of course, can tighten the pouch up with the bungees on the side. So it's great piece of kit, and it matches so well to this assault pack. Okay, the other thing about hydration, of course, is water purification. Now, a lot of people use the Sawyers, and the Sawyers are great, but there is another alternative, and I wanted to show this because I don't think these get enough attention, and they're pretty decent. This is the Frontier Pro, and it is very similar to a Sawyer. So you got a tube, but there's your valve for actually drinking out of if you want to drink directly from this. But what's great about these is they work really well with platypus water containers, and I actually did a video on these a long time ago, so I'll probably cut some footage in of me working with one of these into this video so you can see that, or you can go back and find that video. But they work well, and if you have 2 or 3 of these bags, one can be your dirty water bag, and then the other ones can be your clean water bag, but you can actually hang these and do a drip style filtration and have that drip into your canteen or into a clean bag, and that way you can get a lot of water disinfected or filtered, I guess would be the better term, in case you need it. So one thing that is really important is navigation, and I think also the ability to take notes of what's happening around you. I really like these larger Write and Rain notebooks, a couple different pens to work with, and then of course in here I keep a compass. Another thing, of course, is first aid. Now this kit, this is the military individual first aid kit, and it's already been pre-packaged. And what I like about this is it's everything in there that I need as an individual first aid kit, not a trauma kit. So this is cuts and things like that. But it's sealed in a package that's dry, so I don't open this. I leave this as is until I need it. So it's a great piece of military surplus, but that goes in the front pocket so I can find it. But you do need a trauma kit. I've shown this one before. This is from Rhino Rescue, kind of a new company. They're on Amazon, but it's really, what's cool about them is their stuff is very well thought out. It seems to be very well made, but it's also been certified, I believe, by FDA, so it is not junk. I mean, this is something that has sterile packaging, but this is a trauma kit. So we've got a tourniquet, we've got an Israeli bandage, we have a compression gauze, and then we have hemostatic gauze. So right there you've got the basics for treating a major wound. I think the only thing that really needs to be added to this, and I haven't got around to putting this in here yet, but I need to add some shears to this, some trauma shears. But those can easily fit in the space back here. And then what's nice about this pouch is too, and I've showed this before in another video, so you open this up and then you pull, and then this whole thing comes out. So you can, it's kind of a grab and go. So this stays attached to my pack. On the outside where I can find it, this is easily removable. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on this side. Now I have a blowout kit, trauma kit, whatever you want to call it, right on the side of my pack, easily identifiable. Tourniquet, easily accessible. So fantastic little kit. Now we have some basic survival items. So in here there's some wire, and there's a big lighter, duct tape, there is a red light for map reading, there's a little ferrocerium rod, some fire starters, miniature fishing kit, water purification tablets, bags to purify the water in, marker panel, there is even a little wire saw. So a variety of items, but it's all in this waterproof bag. It goes in the front, so I can easily grab that. A couple hygiene items, wet wipes, and some little brush ups. These are from Crest, so they're just little miniature toothbrushes. They have some actual toothpaste and stuff built into them. So hygiene is really important. We'll put that in the front pocket up here. This is from Princeton Tech. This is the Nano It's a great little light, and I like it because the first light you turn on with this, it goes to red immediately, so there's no white light. You have to cycle through to get to the white light. And there's a few things that I always carry. That is a folding saw for wood processing, but for also shelter building. Building, you know, camouflage around me if I need to do that. And the Baco, I think, is a great small, lightweight saw. That'll get the job done. So that'll go in the main pack. I want a decent knife that is going to be very durable, but also is going to have some size to it. This is the SE6. It's pretty much stock, except it's been stripped down of that coating. And then there's a patina on it, but it's super sharp. And then I have an aftermarket sheath for mine. This is from Knife Connection. This is their aftermarket sheath. So this goes in the pack, and then once I get to where I'm going to go, that'll go on my belt. All right, here's the bag all loaded up. Let's check the weight. So we are right at 20 pounds for the dry weight. That's without adding water, so it's not too bad. Let's see what this bag looks like on me. Sternum strap, that's really going to help with distributing the weight. Shoulder straps are nice and wide, not overly padded. You got to remember this was really designed to go over body armor, but for a military backpack, it's not bad. It distributes the weight pretty well. You can see how those load lifters are kind of working, pulling up the straps a little bit. So the top of this pack has a set of straps that are like this. And what these are for really are to attach this assault pack to the larger main pack that's issued. A lot of times I will see people use these straps to strap a bedroll, which to me is not ideal because it's sitting so high up and it's kind of floppy, it's kind of doesn't really work. But a trick that I just learned from someone else is that you take the strap, you unbuckle it, and you pull it through the first loop on the shoulder strap, and then clip that back in like that. Down like that. And then what this is doing, it's basically creating a load lifter. So it's pulling the shoulder strap up higher and off of your shoulder a little bit more. And then of course you can adjust this. There is slack in the strap, so if you want to make that tighter and pull that higher, you can. But there is a very quick, easy way of actually adding load lifters to the shoulder straps. All right, guys, hope this helped you out in building your go bag. I think military surplus is definitely worth looking at. It's readily available, it's inexpensive, but it's tough. It's going to last. It's not going to fall apart. So definitely check these kind of packs out and others. And then make sure you check out preparedwanderer.com. Lots of great information there. Check out the Facebook group. 8.3 thousand members right now. It's growing very well. And then check out the affiliate links down below. Nutrient Survival with a discount code for you if you're interested in some meals to put in your pack. And then, of course, the Amazon affiliate, which has some of this gear that I showed in that store. All that helps the channel. So I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Prepared Wanderer. Set that right in the middle. Good thing the ground's really wet.